Howdy folks, it's White Lightning here. Welcome back to Space Engineers. Just wanted to bring you in real quick. This is super cool. I have been spending the last little bit in-game shuttling ships back and forth, our salvaged bits, back and forth, and hauling them back to Minnow Base here, which has been quite a job. But I didn't want to spend the time or go back to set the salvage drone to fly back, so I told it to do it itself, and it has just returned. You can see it buzzing around there, apparently confused by where it should actually be. I think I told it to target the GPS point for Minnow Base, which is right up here. So, you know, he's got a little bit of distance to cover still. But it's still kind of cool. He flew himself 10 kilometers back here, which is kind of neat. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining me today. Looks like we've got a meteor storm inbound. I'm ready. Come at me, meteors. I think you can actually shoot them down with your rifle, but they're hard to track and hard to lock onto with that. Anyway, yeah, happy to have you guys with me today. Thinking today it's about high time we start to get serious. Ooh, there go the meteors. Nice. I think it's high time we start getting, oh man, things are super dark around here. I'm ready to start getting some defenses up and going a little bit better. A few more robust defenses I think would be very suitable things to have right now. Where I was just now was over in where the miner is. I've got the green ship being ground down. I've set the miners, build and repair systems to grind to hack only, and so the build and repair system should just automatically grind down the bits on the green ship that need to be that I don't own, and then it should automatically weld those back up again. And the miner has enough onboard capacity, cargo capacity, that I think that should work okay. But the idea being, I would like to keep that green ship. So people suggested that I keep it, and I gave it some thought, and I think it would be useful to turn it into some sort of like souped up tug for salvage operations, basically. It already has the little hangar bay, which is super cool, and that would totally fit one of my salvage drones inside it. So I think that would be really neat. And then it would be nice to kit it out with some really powerful hydrogen engines or something like that, so that it can really move these big chunky wrecks around. And speaking of wrecks moving around, that one is leaving. Which concerns me, and I realized I don't have an antenna on the base here. I'm going to go ahead and slap one of those down real quick so that I can actually control the drone. Antenna, come to me. Let's just... And that's a small ship antenna for some reason. Oh yeah, because I do have a mod pack installed, so that's an antenna, small ship, large block antenna. There we go, that should be the right size. Let's get you placed, and we should be able to get the, oh, except I forget that, oh, I must be set to grind before weld, or weld before grind, rather. That's nice. I may not have all the radio control components that I need. Yeah, it looks like I'm lacking 23. So let's go ahead and queue those up so we can take control of that drone and use it to go snag the blue wreck, which is now sadly and slowly floating away. Okay, production, radio. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. 23. That should do us just fine. Yeah, build and repair is just doing work, taking this bit apart here. Oh, this is nice. This is cool to have this sort of like a ship graveyard. It is a little bit problematic though, because right now my turrets are off for the base, so if we did come under another drone attack, I'd be a little bit hosed. We do have shields, thankfully. You can see those shields doing work there. But yeah, I'm gonna need to figure out something. I'm thinking maybe a bay on the opposite side of the asteroid that I can come and park these big wrecks in. That's just filled with build and repair systems to really grind them down fast and stuff like that. But we'll worry about that another time. Now it's time to start thinking again, as a lot of you have said, about getting some defenses in place, some effective defenses. And I guess to do that, I'm gonna need to start with at least thinking about finishing up what I started several episodes ago, and I apologize guys, I just haven't had the time or the energy or whatever you want to call it to get this finished, and to get the base kind of closed in a little bit better. I just frankly have not made time for it, for which I kind of apologize, because it's probably a little bit annoying that I'm sitting here with this partly finished base. But let's start thinking about where we're going to be where we will be wanting to put some of those turrets and defenses and stuff. in here, I talked about I'm going to have my refineries over on that wall, which they pretty much already are. There's room for a third refinery there, which would be nice at some point. Then assemblers and stuff can go over here, so I don't think it would be inappropriate at this point to stick down a big, honkin', huge battleship cannon. So let's see what our options are here. Cannons. We've got a magnetic coil cannon, which sounds super scary. Requires 460mm magnetic slugs. Conveyors allow automatic reloading. Nice, I guess. We have these battleship cannons, which I'm thinking is what we're going to want to go with. 355mm high explosive shell stacks. Yeah, so a little bit smaller round than these magnetic coil cannons. I think the battleship cannons are going to be the way to go for right now. And that's just the regular small battleship cannon. There's the Mark II with a round base, and a Mark III is absolutely huge. Okay, yeah. So to start off with, we're just gonna stick with these small-ish battleship cannons. So they're still pretty hard-hitting and heavy caliber weapons here. I'm thinking of putting down an interior plate, not an interior plate, conveyor junction, which I don't have the interior plates for. Interior plate, there we go. Get in my inventory, buddy. Thinking we kind of, not quite center it. Well, I don't know, am I making the wrong choice here? Where am I actually going to need some defensive emplacements? This is still meant to be built up into some a sort of tower thing with crew quarters and stuff living on it, so I'll want defenses on and around that. So the question is, where do I think I'm going to be attacked from? And where do I want to put a turret or turrets that would be effective in negating that attack? And the answer to that is potentially right up here. Like center line here, centered above the hallway or something like that. I could put in some sort of a tower or turret or something, or have a turret sitting right here. That's probably not the worst idea. So let's go ahead and come down here to where we already have some conveyor-y bits sticking out. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge this tunnel a little bit so that I can jetpack myself back there. Okay, so we've already got this stuff going on here. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and paint you pink because my inventory is full. Let's paint you pink and then grab this. We want none texture. Yes, that's the right call. And place a conveyor junction there. And then where exactly should we have this coming out? Pretty much smack dab in the middle, which is not too far away from like this point right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Awesome. Okay, next we need to place just a conveyor tube like so, and then I'm going to come out and kind of eyeball where that conveyor tube should be coming out, which is always a dangerous thing, right? And as you can see, I clearly missed that eyeballing. This is why building in voxels is hard. It's because now I have this big messy thing. That's okay though. Let's go ahead and make this into a conveyor junction, and then we'll have, like I say, kind of this tower of conveyor junctions, and our battleship cannon will sit on top. And this will be the first bit of heavy ordnance, just the battleship cannon like you. Yes. Yeah, this will be the first bit of heavy machinery, heavy equipment that we have. You know, it'll probably end up moving at some point. But for now, it should give us good coverage on this entire huge section of the sky. Likewise, I'm still kind of tempted to put one in over here. I am worried that they're just going to turn around and start firing at that wreckage there. Yeah, the more I look at that, the more I don't like it as an actual final resting place for a turret. Like, it's going to be in the way of this tower that I'm kind of hoping to build out and connect there. Gosh. I'm just making all sorts of poor choices here, guys. I'm going to go back to my original plan, and again, at least provisionally and temporarily, let's put down... I actually don't like you there. Let's put down a battleship cannon right here. And grab our pink painter. Paint you pink. And yeah, I regret placing that in the first place, but whatever, learning experience or something, right? Go ahead and remove all of that. And then part of the reason I'm doing that is because I'm thinking we can end up building out and connecting the tower and the floor and stuff to what we already have going on here, which might make things look pretty good. It might work pretty well. Okay, now we actually need to get you conveyored up. We can do that by running this line of a line of conveyors over to this side, and pretty much as soon as we can, piping things up to the ceiling here. And there we go. That will get done. Did this turret actually finish welding? No, it did not, but that's okay because build and repair system deposited all the components that it needed. It just didn't actually finish welding things. Okay, so we're gonna have this nice, big, beefy battleship cannon. That'll be nice. Again, for now, I am gonna have to turn the cannon itself off. Let's set your range to be quite far. Do I want to max out the range to 1,000 meters? Let's not. Let's leave it at 900 meters, but I still want it to be quite beefy. Target small ships, that's fine. You can target the drones, although you might have trouble hitting them. Target large ships and target stations is fine. Now, what did it say that it took for ammunition? G-menu should show me. Cannon, there's the magnetic coil cannon. Battleship cannon, 355 millimeter stack for the for the single. Okay, that's great. 355. So we come in here to production, and we search for shell. There's a 40 millimeter. We just need the three. Wait, what? Okay, 355. Yeah. And go ahead and for now give me like 20 of those. And it's gonna should pull all the bits that it needs, except for that uranium ingot we'll have to manually drag and drop. Also check that assembler, make sure. Am I out of iron ingots? Excuse you. No, I've got oodles kicking around right there. Let's go back to that assembler and find our uranium ingot, and let's just drag and drop like 5. Over right click is the function that does that. And there we go, it's starting to make some. I may be out of, surely I'm not out of silicon wafers. But if I am, we'll at least get some of those 355 millimeter shells up and running, and hopefully load it into the cannon. Yep, they're already loading in. Excellent. That should work just fine. Now it's time to think. Oh, someone else pointed out that my solar tower is asymmetrical, which is right. I am actually inclined to go ahead and make it symmetrical, but I'm going to do that by knocking off bits rather than building bits, because we're now transitioning over to reactor power, which I think is nicer and easier to use. Fewer issues you can run into there. Did that antenna get built? It's looking like it did. Perfect. It's camouflage, which is not exactly what I wanted, but we'll go through and paint things later. Now, let's get that little drone set up, which is perfect timing because I'm almost out of energy in my suit. Let's go grab that little drone. Remote access. No? Where are you, little drone? Oh no. Did I just lose my little drone? I may have done. I don't see it anymore. It might be out of power. No, it couldn't. It had like 3 hours worth of power left, guys. There's no way, even just running around that side of the asteroid, there's no way it should have run out of power. What the heck happened to you? I don't know. That's really concerning. Rip, little drone. Dang. That's annoying. In that case, I still need to figure out a good way to like get through here. In that case, let's go ahead and set up a little let's set up a little welding platform here. Sorry for the interruption there. Got distracted looking at my phone while I should be recording a video. Never a good thing. Oh, golden armor. I kind of want you someday. No, that's okay. We'll just go with plain gray. Plain gray is fine. We're going to set up a little projector stick stand type thing here, so that we can build a new drone off of. So we're going to need, for this, we're going to need a projector, which I don't have on hand. There we go. Yes, guys, I know the orientation of the picture is how you determine the proper orientation of the device. Gosh dang it, if they didn't make it super hard to see the picture, and still feel like half the time when I place it I'm wrong, but that's okay. And then I want a small battery on here as well. It only takes 2 power cells, which is pretty cheap. I should be able to just drop that there, and then we put down the control panel. That battery, yeah, I knew I had some some batteries kicking around here. That's awesome. Okay, now as soon as that control panel gets built, which should be any day now, come on, buddy. There we go. Now we can come in here to our projector, and we can grab blueprints. Not miner. We want our salvage drone. And we go ahead and select that. And I'm realizing that build and repair system will probably start trying to build that, which is a little less than ideal. Let's grab the projector. Yep, nope, stop doing this. We need to raise you up. You raise me up. There we go. That'll make a lot more sense than if we to have a random build and repair system hanging on the back of our bits here. Oh man, things are going flying all over the place. That should work great, actually, for getting welded and built up. Okay, so now we just leave that drone there to do its thing. It's the entire reason for a small, easily controllable and easily producible drone is now we can just let build and repair and put it together. So that's nice. Again, kind of sad that we lost the original one, but they're meant to be kind of mass-produced. Okay, I've talked about it a lot. I think it's time to actually start thinking about finishing our kind of base dome area that we've got going on so far. I think it's past time for that. So I was wanting to, like I say, enclose the minnow with glass, basically. Think a big glass display case or something, because it's the minnow, it's historic, right? We want to preserve it for future generations on our space colony that we're setting up here, space colony of 1 so far, but yeah, that's life. I'm going to paint that turret pink. We have other turrets I can switch on if necessary. Yeah, and things are just kind of drifting out there, that wreckage. That blue wreck is getting farther and farther all the time. I need to go snag that with the miner and at least arrest its traveling away from me. Looks like that Mark 1 battery won't be quite able to be built, but that's okay. We can just slap that on after everything else gets completed here on the miner. Yeah, so let's think about windows for a second here. I know I'm just like obsessively putting glass down, but hey, it's kind of fun. We're gonna want our 1x1 slope window, and we will make you gray, at least for now. We can go back and repaint later. Just making some improvements to the base, guys, while build and repair systems in various places work on various projects and ships and things like that. Something like this, and then I'm wondering about going with a whoa. Okay, what do I do here, actually? I actually don't know. Window, do I have like an inverted corner that I can use, or am I locked into using the armor slopes? I might be locked into using these armor blocks here. Not in that capacity, in this capacity. Yeah, to kind of build this diagonal out and get things closed off. Okay, yeah. And I actually don't hate how that looks, so let's proceed with that. Then we can put in another couple of things of glass. Some panes of glass here. Although, does that make sense with the just plain armor block there? Not a ton of sense. Yeah, no. Something like this. It's going to be what we're going to do. Excellent. Okay, now this doesn't quite put us on the level with what we have going on over there. So I wonder if I can, as I consistently like grab the wrong block, I wonder, I'm probably not going to be able to place you and like attach you to the other, am I? Yeah, I need something to attach this window to. So what will that be? perhaps a line of light armor slopes drawn out like this. And turning into this? No, that doesn't make sense. Need a good way to turn that into, like, it's finished, it's done. What I really want is like this. And I guess the solution for that is to not actually use the armor slopes, just to use a plain Jane square block. Okay, that's fine. That doesn't bother me, I guess. Let's go ahead and take you out. Ooh, how to do this. It's awkward because, yeah, never mind. We'll just, I was going to try to keep those, but whatever. We'll just paint them all pink. There we go. You are pink. Hope everybody's having a wonderful fall. It's been great for me. Oh, yep, and that goes flying. Whoops. No harm done, hopefully, right? Again, some people got a kick out of my comment in the last video, or one of the last videos I posted, about no OSHA in space. OSHA's made it into space, and can you imagine, like, a government agency being, like, coming into your Space Engineers game and assessing it for safety? And can you imagine all the horrible and nasty things they would say and they would find for reasons you weren't up to code and up to safety regulations and stuff like that? Like, because we in Space Engineers, we do not spend a lot of time worrying about that kind of stuff, do we? Let's see if we got 1, 2, and then 1, 2. So probably the window 2x2. I've got a 2x2, right? Or yeah, no, it's the 2x3 that I'm gonna want. Perfect. That should work real nice. And yeah, something just like that. There we go. So this end of the Minnow's enclosure, or whatever you want to call it, biodome structure thing, is coming together quite nicely. Go ahead and drop a couple more windows here. Oh, and that powered jetpack is getting me in trouble again. Ooh, speaking of trouble, I am just about out of hydrogen and oxygen gas, so let's jetpack in here. Grab what we need to from the survival kit real quick. There we go, that fills us up nice. Yeah, I was thinking today about some of these mechanics that are in Space Engineers, and we've modded the oh. I'm like a bird hitting the window. Like I was confused as to why I couldn't get out. That's why, because I glassed that in. My bad. I was thinking today about some of these, the survival mechanics and all that we've modded in, and with the hunger and stuff, it really does add a lot to the game. I really enjoy the hunger add. Let's see, window slope. Is that what we want? No. Window. Is it face? Does this do anything for me? Ah, it does. Yeah, no, you're exactly what I wanted there. Perfect. And then, oh, it's kind of an awkward question though, but how do I, like, 1 by 1 side inverted, 1 by 1 inverted. Okay, I've never actually built with these inverted windows like this. So that's really interesting for me. Huh, fascinating. Kind of like that. I don't know, I kind of like the line of, like, supports or something running across there, the line of beams. I think that makes a degree of sense. In fact, I think I'm kind of tempted to do is come in here and I'm out of steel plate to build it. Let's just go ahead and steal some steel plates. Steal because they're stolen. Funny, right, guys? And I could, like, make a support column like this, and a support column like this. And yeah, it clutters up the inside of my base, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not having a ton of empty space and some, like I say, kind of neat looking support columns that I have to walk around. We could color them a different color. Let's go outside and see how that looks from the outside. Oh yeah, not bad at all. Yeah, no, I'm going to go ahead and keep that. That's fine. Anyway, as I keep trying to say and then keep getting distracted from saying, I was thinking about the survival mechanics that we've modded in, and I was thinking like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if your suit like broke down? Like, basically, if you've played Kerbal Space Program, there you'll know that there's a mod called Dang It that will make your components break down spontaneously. And I was thinking, man, wouldn't that be cool if we had something like that in Space Engineers? Maybe not necessarily for components, because I could see that getting really grindy, like, oh, I've got a million gyroscopes on my base, and one of them's broken, so I have to go find it, especially if you're not playing with build and repair system, which a lot of people prefer not to, which is fine. I can see that getting really exhausting and really obnoxious, but what if just your spacesuit broke down? And you had different like subsystems of your spacesuit that you had to repair. I've long said that I wish that there was a little bit more spacesuit customization, not cosmetically, although the cosmetic packs and deco packs and stuff like that are nice, but just from a like a functionality standpoint, if you could customize the functionality of your spacesuit, how cool would that be? Like if there were modules that you could add to make your spacesuit better tolerant to extreme temperatures, like cold and stuff like that. And then say your module for cold breaks, the module that keeps you climate controlled, basically, say that breaks, and you have to go repair it at some sort of repair station or something like that. I don't know. I was just thinking that would be pretty cool if there was a mechanic like that in the game. 1x1 inverted, that's what I want. Yeah, like I say, I've never used these inverted windows. Then I was also thinking about heat and cold in space, which is a fun topic to talk about, I guess, if you're a certain type of person. I need steel plate, that's fine. And like the kind of the mistaken belief that space is cold, and it's like universally cold, like people talk about freezing to death in the cold vacuum of space, which is definitely a possibility, only if you happen to expire on the or be exposed to a shady spot in space, which is really interesting and something people don't think about a ton. Because one of the biggest problems is not staying warm in space. That's a problem sometimes, but staying cool, especially with crewed missions and stuff like that. The issue becomes not how do I. Let's see, what did I do over here? Yeah, we might. Trying to get these bits sealed up, but I'm not loving how it's coming together so far. The concern is on crewed missions is not quite as much how do we keep the crew warm as it is how do we keep the crew from burning up and overheating and dying. How do we radiate the excess heat that we're picking up, that our crew is picking up, out into space. So real spacecraft, and especially big ones and more advanced ones, will have like radiator panels, and the ISS has radiator panels built in that that are designed for that purpose. They take that excess heat and radiate it away from the ship or from the station. It's like if you go look at your lawnmower or something, your lawnmower has fins on it, little fins on the engine block itself, and the purpose of those fins is actually to serve as radiators, right? What do I want here? I want the 1x2 window. Window 1x2, flat. That's the guy. And the purpose of those little fins is to radiate that heat away, and they do that by just providing they increase the surface area of the engine that can get hot, and therefore they increase the surface area of the engine that is exposed to the air. Again, problem in space once you get into space, because there is no air, and so radiation methods like that don't work as well. So you have to have super special designated radiators to do that. How many times can I say radiator in this video, guys? We'll find out, huh? Suit energy is critically low. Oh, I know, but I want to get my windows finished. 9%. We're fine. We'll survive, right? When we start taking damage, we'll start worrying. I am not worried yet. Refuse to worry. And I want my window 1 by 1 side. I don't want you inverted. I want that piece right there. Do I want that piece, or do I actually want the inverted? Let's just skinny through this little hole here. Nope. Nailed that, right? Can I place you 1 by 1 side? Can I place you in here or something? Apparently not. Apparently I am going to have to layer things. I'm going to have to get some energy first, though. Kind of want to get this buttoned up today. Like I will probably work in between episodes, even though it's really hard to like devote the time to work in between episodes, guys, just because I'm putting off a paper that I should be writing right now for class. Kind of annoying. Looks like that salvage drone is pretty much done, though. That's nice. But I really need to get this dome buttoned up so that we can move on to the next bits of the base building that we want to do. And ultimately, of course, I want to do... No, that's the side. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and place these. Ultimately, of course, I want to do some shipbuilding, which we haven't done a ton of. Built the little miner, built the salvage drones and stuff like that. But I really want a really nice adventure ship that I can use to take on adventures, right? Something really cool, probably a small grid, honestly. I'm wondering if it might not make more sense to do away with those interior columns and turn them into kind of exterior columns. Yeah, that might be the more sensible thing to do. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it here, guys. I'm over time. So thanks for watching. Come back next time, and I will probably be working on more base building and getting things locked up, although I promise I will be in a more satisfactory situation then than I am now. Might even have this interior dome pressurized. We'll see what I am able to get up to. But thanks for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day.